12 months ago, if you wanted to run a truly powerful AI, I'm gonna show you what exactly it took. A huge windowless building humming with the sound of a million tiny fans, a data center. It consumed enough electricity to power a small town, was staffed by engineers, and held a copy of your data just to answer a single question. Think about that, a building full of servers, $1 million power bill, and a slice of your privacy just for one intelligent answer. An AI that was once the exclusive domain of big tech is now running locally, offline, and instantly. This is the story of how AI escaped the data center and landed on your desk. Alright, let's rewind the clock just a little over a year to the landscape of early 2025. The world was obsessed by generative AI. We saw models that could write poetry, generate photorealistic images, and debug code.
AI coding is having its breakout moment. Usage for Anthropic's Claude Opus is surging 85% this week.
But all of this magic came with an enormous catch. It was chained to the clouds. Every time you asked a question, you weren't talking to your device. You were sending a request hundreds of miles away to a massive AI factory. To run a frontier model like the Meta's Llama 405B model with 405 billion parameters, you needed an enterprise-grade data center. I'm talking about the vast clusters of high-end GPUs, the kind that would cost tens of thousands of dollars a piece. The energy required was measured in the gigawatt per hour. It is such a massive amount that it could power roughly 4,000 to 6,000 homes for a month. It turns out it created a three-headed monster of a problem. First, there was accessibility and cost. The sheer expense of these AI data centers created a technological monopoly. Only a handful of massive corporations could afford to operate at such cutting edge, making them the gatekeepers. For students, developer, and business owner, tapping into this power meant paying expensive API fees just for a single query, a cost that adds up a big time. Second, there was a latency. Even with the fastest internet, there's an unavoidable delay as your data travels to the server, gets processed, and travels back. For real-time applications like live translation or an AR overlay, that lag makes the experience clunky and unnatural. And finally, the biggest problem of all, privacy. In an AI cloud model, your data had to leave your desk. Your private documents, your sensitive business plans, your personal conversation, all of it had to be sent to a third-party server for analysis. You had to trust that these companies would handle your data responsibly. This was the fundamental trade-off. To access intelligence, you had to surrender your digital sovereignty. And for a while, this seemed to be the only way forward. Alright, so what changed? How did we go from the centralized world to this? It wasn't a one single invention, but a perfect storm of two key innovations that worked together and changed everything. This is thanks to a shrinking approach for the models themselves and a perfect digital brain built just for your laptop. Alright, so first let's talk about the shrinking approach, the model quantization. Think of an AI model like a massive, uncompressed, high-resolution photograph. It's incredibly detailed, but the file size is enormous. That original Llama 405 model, for example, running at full 16-bit precision, would require around 800 GB of memory just to load the model. That's more RAM that you'd find in a dozen of high-end gaming laptops combined. Obviously, that's not gonna fit. Quantization is the process of converting a giant raw image into a much smaller JPEG. Instead of using 16-bit of information to describe each parameter in the network, we use 8-bit or even just 4 bits. And here's the interesting part. Researchers found that for many tasks, you can shrink a model this drastically with negligible loss in performance. And it turns out that the 4-bit quantization is the perfect sweet spot. Suddenly, while you can't run that 800 GB giant on your laptop, but the principle behind it could be used to create smaller but still incredibly powerful siblings that were smaller enough. That 800 GB class of technology could now be compressed down 3 to 12 GB, a size that can comfortably fit within the RAM of most student laptops. But being small enough is only half the battle. You need to run it efficiently. And that brings us to the second breakthrough, the specialist brain, better known as the NPU, or Neural Processing Unit. For decades, your computer has had two main processors, the CPU, a generalist that handles day-to-day tasks, and the GPU, a specialist for the math needed for the video game. The NPU is a new kind of a specialist. It is a dedicated brain for AI. Chip makers like the Apple, Intel, AMD, and the Qualcomm began integrating these NPUs directly into their laptop processors. These chips are designed to do one thing and do it with the breathtaking efficiency, run the exact kind of math that quantized models rely on. While a powerful GPU in a data center might burn 700 watts of power, an NPU in a laptop sips power, often running at just 10 to 30 watts. But despite this, they are incredibly powerful, capable of performing 40 to 50 trillion operations per second. This efficiency is the key. That's the real sauce. The NPUs allow your laptop to run complex AI calculations continuously without draining your battery or turning your chassis into a frying pan. The quantization shrinking down the model and NPUs allowing them to run efficiently. And that sparked this revolution. If you're finding this breakdown of how modern tech actually works as fascinating as I do, and you want to figure out how to build systems around this stuff, you know what to do. Do subscribe. So we have the smaller model and specialized hardware to run them. But what does this new reality actually mean to us, the user? So this isn't just an incremental update, it's a paradigm shift. And it brings 3 revolutionary benefits. First, true privacy. Second, instantaneous speed. And third, true ownership. First and the most important, privacy. With on-device AI, your data stays with you. Think about summarizing a sensitive legal document or analyzing your personal finance. In the old cloud-based worlds, all of that information would have been uploaded to a server you don't control. Now the entire process happens in a secure sandbox on your own machine. The AI comes to your data doesn't go to the AI. This is a monumental step forward. The new benchmark of AI is speed of thought, and on-device AI delivers it. Because there is no round trip to a distant data center, there is zero internet lag. Responses are instant. This unlocks a whole new class of applications that were simply impossible before. Imagine real-time language translation doesn't pause, or a coding assistant that suggests completion as fast as you can type. It's the AI that thinks as fast as you do. Finally, this shift is about ownership and control. This is the concept of sovereign AI. For the first time, you can own your own AI models. You are no longer renting the processing time for a giant tech company. You have one-time hardware purchase, and the powerful AI that runs on it is yours to use however you want, whenever you want, even if you are completely offline. This breaks the dependency on big tech and democratizes access. It's a move of being from the user of service to being the owner of capability. This isn't just about convenience, it's about control. I have been there. You spend hours finding the right machine, then even more time finding the right roadmap to kickstart your career. That's one of the reasons I created the ML in the Box ebook. It's a structured path, so once you have a laptop, you will actually know what to do with it. No random tutorials, no jumping from 20 different resources. The link is in the description, so make sure to check it out. And honestly, the more I talk to students about the laptops, I realize that the main problem isn't the hardware anymore. That's why I'm working on something with few of my friends. It's still in early stages. We are testing, breaking things, fixing things every week. So before launching it properly, I want a small group of students from this channel to try it and give their honest feedback. If that sounds interesting, I have linked a Google form in the description or in the pinned comment. You can fill it out and we will reach out to you. Just 12 short months ago, the pinnacle of AI lived behind the fortified walls of data centers, only accessible through internet connection and have privacy trade-off. It was powerful, but it was distant. Today, because of the silent but massive shifts in model quantization and the arrival of the NPU, that power has been liberated. It has been accessed, optimized, and placed directly into our hands. The journey from a building full of servers to a chip the size of a postage stamp is one of the significant leaps in the history of personal computing. We are at the very beginning of this new era. The limitation of cost, latency, and privacy that defined the first wave generative AI are being systematically dismantled. The age of renting AI from the cloud server is over. The age of owning it has just begun. Now that this power is here, what will you do with it? What is the first thing that you would build or create using powerful AI that lives entirely on your laptop, completely offline and totally private? Let me know down in the comment section. As always guys, I'm trying my best to give you different sauce, differentiated, non-obvious, and that you will not find anywhere else. There is a lot of people talking about AI, but nobody is talking about the system that works behind it. So if that's the core point you have, and if you want to future-proof your career, you know what to do. Subscribe. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome, and I will see you in the next one.